The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.
In this edition of The Dating Show, we're talking about mental health and, in particular, confidence, because when you're internet dating, you need to be confident. You don't want to come across as some nervous, nerdy wreck, do you?
No, you have to be out there, brave and upfront. Confident, yes.
Because people love people who are confident.
Most attractive people are confident, yeah. You feel happy around them, positive and sure.
Yeah, because do you think I'm confident?
Rod, you are ultimately confident, yes.
So you find me attractive?
Oh, yeah.
That's putting you on the spot. Okay, well, we've got a mental health nurse, a lady called Angela Richardson, who's going to help us.
Oh, great.
I'm joined now by Angela Richardson, who's a mental health nurse. Hello, Angela. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Can I just start by asking, do you find brains attractive?
Attractive?
Do you find a man's brain or a woman's brain more attractive than, say, you know, any other physical attribute as you're working in mental health?
I don't really think about it, actually. I'm interested in how brains and how they work, but I wouldn't say I'm particularly attracted to brains.
But somebody's intellect and their sort of the way they do you like that? Is that sort of an interest of yours?
Yeah, it's an interest of how people think and the views that they express and the emotions that they feel. They're all very interesting to me.
What sort of advice can you give people for having a good mental health? Because on this show before we've talked about sort of the physical side of stuff, but mental health seems to get a bit neglected at times across the board. What sort of advice can you give people?
Well, there's lots of things that you can do to maintain good mental health, and one of them is keeping connected with others, you know, with families and friends, and developing relationships are really important. And I think we're generally social beings, and relationships and with family and friends adds quality to our life. We're a society that puts a lot of value on success, doing well, working hard, and sometimes we put our relationships on the back burner. And so one of the things that's been proven is if you keep social, then it does help your mental health, but it also keeps you mentally alert in later life and actually has been linked to longevity. So we shouldn't really put our relationships on the back burner. We should go out and keep connected with people. So we should join that group that you've always fancied doing and don't put off going to see your friends and family. And
are there other things you can do, like, I mean, you know, diet, exercise, those sort of things? Are they important to do those sort of things to sort of keep you sharp and keep you on the right track? Definitely.
Being active is a key part of keeping your brain healthy. And also it does help your mood. It has been shown that actually it releases certain chemicals that improve mood. Exercise also increases blood flow to the brain, so it can help your brain function. And it doesn't have to be really vigorous. It doesn't have to be costly. You don't have to go to the gym. But it's actually just keeping active, going for a walk, going for a cycle, playing with your children. All of those things will keep your mental health and your brain functioning well. Sometimes in some places exercise is prescribed for the treatment of mild depression, so exercise is important.
Do you think many people do neglect their mental health?
I think they do. I don't think people put enough focus on their mental health. I think we get so tied up with work and all the pressures in life that we don't actually give time for ourselves. And one of the things about promoting mental health is actually just taking time out, being mindful, and that's being more aware of the present moment, really, including that your thoughts and your feelings and just the world around you. So just taking some time out just to be present and just to be. People
are listening to us who are internet dating at the moment, and one of the things that they've got to have is confidence. How can people sort of improve their confidence? Well,
I think it's building on what I've just said, really. It is doing things that improve your self-esteem. It can be really helpful. So doing things that you're good at and actually knowing what your strengths are and and what your successes are. That will give you confidence. But recognising your insecurities also, because once you've identified them, you can either work on them or you can accept them as being part of you. And try not to think them as being bad, but move on. They're probably just part of your personality, and you have to kind of live with those. And also confidence is about expecting success. If you think things are not going to work out, then it's often self-fulfilling prophecy. You actually underperform. So actually, if you're meeting somebody for the first time, it's about taking that positive attitude and getting some confidence is earned through positive recognition as well. So it's accepting those compliments.
Have you ever been on these internet dating sites yourself?
I haven't. No.
Well, I have, and you can get rejected by people. People you don't even know. You've got a photo on there, you've got your write-up, you might wink at somebody and they don't wink back, or they send you a message saying, I'm not interested. So there is that rejection that a lot of people get. I mean, that can be quite difficult to cope with. So what sort of tips can you give us on that?
Well, don't take it personally. It might be about you. That might be saying something about them. We often automatically think there's something wrong with us if we're rejected, but actually it could be that there's issues going on for that person. It might be life to be too complicated. They might have their own insecurities. So it's not always about you.
That was Angela Richardson. Now, she's really helped me there about rejection, because on the dating sites, one lady came back to me and I messaged her and she messaged back and said, I'm just not interested. I was floored for about 2 or 3 days, and I didn't even go online. I couldn't even look at a computer. But then she did come back to me and sort of say, and we did meet up and got on. So.
And did she reject you again, Rod?
No.
Oh.
Anyway.
Angela mentioned mindfulness there, which is being totally present mentally where you are at this time. And that's one of the latest buzzwords. It's everywhere talking about that. And if you're with somebody, they're totally present, they're totally focused on you. That's really flattering, really engaging. And that would give you confidence, wouldn't it? And make you enjoy that first date.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Rod. Thank you. You're here.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.